Viruses always have us questioning ourselves, don't they, Kayla?
Absolutely. In this week's Compute This, there's a new hoax going around, and we don't want you to get fooled.
No, don't get fooled. Thor Schrock is the owner of Schrock Innovations.
Mike, it's a question as old as Pandora's box.
Open or don't?
To open or not to open. What's the deal with this FBI thing?
Well, the scary thing is you don't have to open anything to get it. And the FBI virus itself isn't new. What happens is you get this alert on your screen that says it's from the FBI. And we've determined that you've been doing things on your computer you shouldn't have been doing.
And
You
this
get
is the
you, what do you
screenshot
mean you get an
here.
alert? Is it like a pop-up or what?
It takes your whole desktop. I mean, it's a fake alert, so it'll overtake your computer. It will lock it down in some cases. It'll say your computer's been locked.
Did you have to open an email to get that to come
No,
open?
actually, this is the scary thing. What ends up happening is there were, in the last week, about 12 different updates for common programs like Firefox, Java. Java's the big one right now. If you haven't updated your Java, oh my goodness, that's how these things are getting in. And these FBI infections, they're getting pretty, you notice in the top right corner there, there's no video on this one. We blacked it out because we didn't want to just show some poor guy's face on the screen. But what this thing does is if you have a laptop, this web page actually activates your webcam and streams the video from your webcam to the screen.
I've always been worried about that.
Wow.
To like convince you the FBI is watching your reaction.
I've always gotten worried about
Because
that.
they're pretty significant. They'll accuse you of looking at child pornography. They'll accuse you of doing communicating with terrorists. I mean, whatever you name it, they will say it in this script, and then they say, okay, now we're willing to overlook this minor infraction. Minor infraction. What? Well, if you pay the fine, and the fine is $200, and then we'll release your computer. And so they were doing it through PayPal for a while. PayPal us $200. Well, if you've ever done PayPal and you bought something and then later on you figured out you got snookered, you're like, yeah, I'm going to charge back my
You're gonna
PayPal.
issue a chargeback.
Yeah, and so you charge it back. Well, now they've switched where they're saying go down to Walgreens or Rite Aid and get yourself a money card and use the money card to pay us. So here's the FBI locking down your computer. The FBI, first of all, doesn't lock down computers. They investigate people. They don't assess fines. They arrest people. They don't tell you to go to Walgreens and get a money card to pay the fine. They arrest you and then let the Justice Department work it out. Well, so this thing, actually some people, especially if you were doing something that you shouldn't have been doing or you don't want your family to find out about on the computer, some people pay the fine, and then they get out of it. And the trouble here is once you pay the fine, it doesn't remove the virus. It just releases the computer, and then this virus is still in the computer. The main thing, people say, I've got antivirus.
Right.
This should keep me safe. Why isn't my antivirus keeping me safe? Good question. When you have a new vulnerability, imagine, we've used this before, say it's like a house, and you've got alarms on the doors and windows, but let's say there's a side door that you never knew about in your house, so you never put an alarm on it. And then the bad guys find out about the side door and they break in through the side door, your alarm's not going to go off. Your antivirus isn't going to go off. And the first thing these viruses do, disable the antivirus updating. So it can't be updated to learn how to beat the new infection.
So what can we do to keep our computers safe?
Well, the short story here is you've got to update your third-party programs, and you have to update them as soon as the updates come out. A lot of people wait and they say, well, I got a little orange Java thing down here that's popped up, says I need to install a new version. Those come out about 2 weeks after the actual Java update has happened. So there's a 2-week event horizon, and by that time, there's a whole new vulnerability that they have to patch. They don't make the patches for fun. They make them because you need them. So
There's a vulnerability.
yeah, we created a product called Secure Updater. And what Secure Updater does, it's really neat. What it does is it goes through and says, okay, you've got these programs installed in the computer, and then our team, when an update comes out, we update our servers saying there are updates for this software. So here are the updates. Now let's update whatever you have installed on your computer. Let's do it automatically, instantly, and silently. So you don't have to worry about it anymore.
It gives you the peace of mind. We're taking a look at the website right now. This is Secure Updater. What's the URL for this?
It's secureupdater.com. It's complex. We tried to keep it a little simpler. But
That makes sense.
secureupdater.com.
Easy for me to figure out.
But
I
yeah,
guess.
you can also get to it from SchrockInnovations.com. But Secure Updater, you can. The cool thing about it is, I mentioned there was a whole ton. There were some, like Firefox got 2 updates. Java got an update. Skype got an update. Oh, let's see. CCleaner got an update. Adobe Reader got an update. So all these major programs that people have on their computers received updates to protect from vulnerabilities. Well, Secure Updater has a 14-day free trial. So go to secureupdater.com. If you guys haven't done it yet, just install it on your computers.
Yeah.
Let it update. Let it do all the work to get you current right now. Use it for a couple weeks. If you like it, great. It's $50 the first time you buy it. It's $25 each additional year after that. If you get infected with the FBI infection, on average, it costs about $200 to remove it. And it's not coincidental that they priced the buyout, the fine, at right about $200 because that way you're do I really want to go without my computer? Or if it's $200 to me, should I just pay the fine? Don't pay the fine. You're paying a crime syndicate. The money goes to do other nefarious things and just makes these things come out more frequently.
If you're not using a program like Secure Update, or you're not updating these updates on your own, what are your chances of getting a virus?
100%.
100%.
100% now. And that's the scary thing. You don't have to, it's used to be, you know, if you get an email with a weird attachment, don't open it. Or if Thor's trying to send in his morning blend segment sheet in the morning and the attachment doesn't come through, it's because of an overzealous spam filter that's seized on it because it thought it was a virus.
Right.
Yeah, wouldn't that be ironic? I'm sending you a
That
virus.
happened this morning, maybe. That would be ironic.
We had some problems getting some emails.
What if you already have antivirus software? Can you still use Secure Updater on top of that?
Great question, because Secure Updater is not antivirus.
Right.
It works complementary with your antivirus. So when you put it on your computer, it's going to help your antivirus keep your computer safe. We recommend Norton 360, but no matter what you have, keeping these programs up to date will be the thing that saves you, because now just do a Google search for something. Like, you know, for example, I'm looking for a Tommy gun from a Halloween costume. And did you know it's a federal law that the quarter inch of the barrel has to be tipped in orange?
It's gotta be orange, yeah.
And if you take it off, you're in violation of a federal gun
Well,
law.
I didn't know.
I was totally going to take it off, but now I'm kind of scared.
You gotta keep that orange
Got to keep
on.
the orange
That's
tip
right.
on there.
Schrock Innovations, you got 3 locations, Village Point right there, one in Papillion, and one down in Lincoln, SchrockInnovations.com.
Good information, and to all those people out there, know the FBI really isn't after you.
And they're not watching you, are they? Are they watching us?
Maybe you.
The jury's out on that
Maybe,
one.
yeah,
The jury's
you never
out
know.
on that.
Thanks
All
for
right.
coming in, Thor.
Appreciate it,
Thank
Thor.
you.